Johnny Whitehead, thank you so much for coming here today. We've been working with the Harmony Historical Society and obviously dealing with one of their claims to fame, which for a period of time from 1956 to 1960, they had a track called Rollerball. And one of the legends of Rollerball is John Whitehead. Were you destined to be a race car driver, John?
I don't know. I guess when I was 14 years old, I could do things with a car. I could do power turns either way, up and down the road, backwards, forwards. So I just kind of liked speed. And
where's home for you?
Sherman, New York.
Sherman, that's always been home for you?
Yes, that was my well, no, my mailing address when I was racing was North Clymer, but I lived closer to Sherman.
Right. And did you race before you got to Rollerball?
Yes.
Where was that?
Cabin in the Pines.
Where was that?
Down in Pennsylvania.
Another 3 Point.
Yeah, but they call it 3 Point? Oh, did they? Well, it was by the Cabin in the Pines. It was up in the field, and you started from a dead stop going uphill, and then you went through the plastic flag, and then you went, hey, I can quit now, Ronnie's here. Then you went downhill a little ways and flattened out, and then downhill some more, around the third and fourth, turning up a little bit, and then leveled out, and then back up again.
About what year was this, John?
1950.
You would have been, what, 10 years old then, John?
Yeah, right.
When were you born?
I sat on my dad's lap.
When were you born?
1929.
So you were when the time came for you to learn about this place in Watts Flats, New York, you were sort of a seasoned race car driver then.
Well, I'd raced just a few times is all. I bought an old car, 35 Ford, and we used to have a field, come up out of Ashville up there in the country someplace, and the farmer had a field he let us play on, and I took this Ford up there, and didn't have any intentions of racing, and gosh, I was beating most everybody. Mm-hmm. And they said, well, we're racing down the Cabin in the Pines, or 3 Point, whatever, and doing pretty good. I'll come down and try it, so I did. I had a flat tire the first week, I put the spare on for the next week, and I think I won the feature.
35 Ford, you said?
Yes, sedan, 4-door.
So you get word of this place in Watts Flats, and your first time you're exposed to this track, what'd you think of it?
Well, I didn't race there to begin with, mm-hmm. when they first opened. But when they first opened, you had to run through a creek.
Right.
In the first and second turn. And the biggest thing was you could keep your car from drowning out. You could do real well. When I started there, they'd bridged over that.
Uh-huh. That would have been about what, later 1956?
56, I think.
Yep.
Maybe 57, I don't know. 56, I think.
John, if you had to close your eyes and sort of describe what the lap was around the track, all I know is you come down to pits area and then describe a lap.
Well, you come out of the pits and went down the back straightaway and the start-finish line. And then there was this bridge over the creek in 1 and 2 turn, and you went up grade a little bit for the back straightaway, and that was pretty level. And then third and fourth turn, you went downhill to the front straightaway. It was. I thought it was fun back then.
Why did you think it was fun?
Well, it's, I guess anything you do if you can beat somebody is fun.
What were the economics of it, John? What did you have to pay to get in for the race, and what did you expect out of it?
It cost, Blinky just told me, it cost $2 to get in the pits.
Right.
It cost $1.25 to get in the grandstand for an adult. And I think it paid $35, didn't it, Blink, to win a feature normally?
Did you find for your purposes, was it all worthwhile?
Had a good time. Bunch of real good guys. Back in them days, we raced, I think, just as hard as they do now.
Mm-hmm.
But after it was over with, we were all friends, and somebody built a fire, we'd have some hot dogs and some drinks, or go to somebody's house and have hot dogs. And we were all pretty much friends, and if somebody's car broke down, you helped them out, or they helped you out.
I understand that during the races, sometimes to get crowds there, they would do extra events.
Yes?
Do you remember any of those?
Not really. All I know is if we had one guy, probably Blinky remembers his name, I can't think now. But if he wasn't in the money, he'd roll it over. He'd get $5 for that.
Oh, is that right?
So he was guaranteed $5 every day.
Did they have things like powder puff races?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. We've seen some movies of a car with going through a wall of fire. Was that something that was done during your time period?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of things I don't remember.
Well, I bet if I asked this question, John, you'd say, if you were to answer this question, you know, Greg, about the funniest thing that ever happened to me at Rollable was, your answer might be what?
Oh, one of the best things, I had finished second 11 times in trophy races before I ever won one. I finally won one.
Mm-hmm.
I started 31st one day, and they'd watered the track out where everybody raced. Well, I went below that. I went from 31st to second.
Oh, really?
But I went into first going down back straightaway. But everybody stayed out there where they watered. And
So you remember that race that you won, your first one you won, right?
yeah, you remember the ones you won, yeah. Without trying, you forget the ones that you didn't do good in. And there was more of them.
Did you find, John, that there was one racer that, if it came down to that last lap and you said, oh my God, it's him again? Who might it be?
Well, Dick Pangborn run real good up there.
Mm-hmm.
And a very good friend of mine who's passed away now, Stan Stevens.
Right.
We were very good friends, and I liked to beat him.
Mm-hmm. And he probably liked to beat you. Was there somebody out there that was sort of a little tougher on everybody, just kind of moved you around, didn't shy about banging you around, sort of had a reputation?
I don't really remember that.
Yeah. Because I know we had Jim Scott here one time,
Oh.
and Jim kept referring to Skip Furlow, and Skip kept referring to Jim Scott. Both those guys were in the audience, you know.
Well, they were both very tough competitors at any place they raced.
The McNitts themselves, Don and Howard, did they sort of operate the track?
Yes, yes. And we was always there every Sunday.
Mm-hmm. And you pretty much raced there during the entire 5 years, more or less, Jim?
No, I didn't race. I think it had that creek you had to go through for a couple of years. Now, don't quote me on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I never raced there then. And I think the last year they ran, I heard Blackmare was coming, so I didn't go.